See, get that all set up. Yep, got my tools, got my water, got my clay, got my cough drops. Although I sound much less froggy than last time. So we're gonna call that progress. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, ba. Do, do, do. All right. So, woohoo! And the sound's on. Is it clear? Sorry, I'm talking around a cough drop, so I apologize if there's occasional clicking. But I sound much less froggy than Wednesday, so progress. I find that towards the end of the day, my voice starts to kind of crap out, but it's forward momentum, so we're gonna call it a win. Feeling a hell of a lot better too, much less like sniffly and stuffy. We put the humidifier on in the bedroom for when we sleep at night, so I think some of it too is just, you know, as we start getting into the really cold part of winter, which in my area isn't really November, December. It's January, February, and sometimes into March. The winter cold has been hitting later and later, but we get the heat on and start it like really cranking, and it dries everything out, and so you get that awful like dry winter scratchy to your voice and your throat. Oh no, that's completely gotten rid of the purple. All right, hold on, let me. Good, I'm glad I don't sound as froggy. Oh, I get to show you guys my new rolling pin. Look how pretty. And it's consistent thickness all the way through instead of fatter in the middle for cookies. So it is perfect for clay. I want to say it's like walnut. I don't know. I know it's a hardwood and it's a dark and it's very pretty. And it is perfect. Because now I have something exclusively for clay work. So I am doing a Drayoct. I'm going to do the Drayoct first, and then I'm going to bounce over to the Sakura Leafy for Kiko. Because Drayoct are relatively quick for me. They don't have tons of little fiddly details, except in the painting, and that's after they're baked. So I've got a gray factor and multicolor Drayoct. So we're doing partial gray, like a marbled gray, and partial, the request was pink, blue, and purple, and green, but that's mixing colors together that'll end up being a muddy brown. So pink, blue, and purple are all. Sorry, I'm hearing the kid cackling. No, I'm not gonna do it Harlequin. I'm just gonna marble it. Because multicolor tends to be marbled, so. I'm gonna warm up this gray first though, because it's still a little bit stiff. Yeah, we did our flu shots in October, and I'm starting to realize that, like, maybe we need to start kind of leaning towards the later part of the cold season. A lot of it depends too on if I'm going to MFF. If I'm dealing at MFF, I absolutely want to have a fresh flu shot in the tank, but oftentimes when the flu shot gets offered in October for us, I don't necessarily know yet if I got into MFF, so yes, 100%. Well, that's like COVID shot in the summer before Anthrocon, flu shot in the fall winter for MFF, because those are the two big ones. So I try and have them kind of fresh and recent for the big conventions where it's really crowded. There's going to be a ton of people. I'm still hearing a little bit of a creak. Pardon me. But not only water and my like hydration emergency stuff in there, I've also got some tea that I brewed this morning that has now been iced. It's a little bit of a weird mix because the emergency is very fruity and the tea that I have in there is very not. It's this company called Traditional Medicinals, and they have a cold cure and a throat coat tea, which I find work really well. That's what I was sipping on Wednesday. It's the only reason I had any voice on Wednesday. But I brew those two together and then dump it into my water bottle. So it's a little bit of a weird flavor combo. But I can't complain. It works, and I'm feeling quite a bit better than I was, so obviously it's doing something, right? Yeah, this is going to be a weird but pretty marbling. How? How is there a cat hair in the center of the block of clay? Oh my gosh, what the heck? Probably freaking Gale. He, I was prepping all of my balls of clay, like, okay, well, I've got this for this one, this for this one, this for this one. And he jumps up on the table and he's like, oh, hi, Mom. What you got there? And he sticks his head in the clay bin and he's sniffing. And I'm like, no! Dude, you're tabby. You have like every color of fur. It's going to show up on everything. Get out. Although I guess ultimately that does make it easier to find and get rid of it in the clay. So that's something. Okay, there we go. So how's everyone's morning going? Or, I honestly do not remember. Is it 13-hour difference between us? Yeah. Well, hopefully it is, I want to say like relaxing, not awful, not one of those meetings that this could have been an email. I know, whatchamacallit, I know Norway is a big jump in time, and I'm trying to remember the difference. I want to say it's like 13 hours, I think, ish. I'm trying to go kind of sort of in order ish, not really. Like the Dreyuct are kind of quick for me, so I'll do those. And then I'm going to work on Kiko's, which is going to be a little bit more involved with all those Sakura flowers. All right, so at least Leo's just not watching at like stupid o'clock in the morning for a change. my night streams, that's what she usually gets stuck with. Oh, wait, or 6 or 7 a.m.? Oh, gosh. I can never remember the time jump. All right, so like probably the most reasonable that you've joined my stream in a while. Oh no, did I not remember to? No, I've got a couple. All right. I need to remember to so I get eye pins that already have the loop on them, and then just a long piece of straight pin afterwards. And I sit there with needle nose pliers and I bend a little bit of a hook in the other end. That way the clay kind of gets stuck on there and they're less likely to pull out. And I usually do big, huge batches, but lack of communication from the leadership. Oh, that's fun. But I usually do big batches of these and then just have them in the container. But haven't done teacup worms in a while, although I have done charms and other small things. So also useful for those. But haven't been going through them as quickly, and so I haven't sat down to crank out a big batch in a while, and I need to work on that. Actually, that reminds me. I need to pick up more pins because I've got some of the old locking pins left, but I do not have any of the more open latch pins, and I tend to prefer to use those because the locking pins are harder to attach securely and more prone to breaking. Oh gosh, sitting here going, it feels awful quiet. There we go. Kind of excited for the teen night tonight because we are doing a little bit of food chemistry with the teens, and we're making popping boba. So that'll be interesting. I'm just now realizing that, like, ever so slightly a bummer. I'm not really going to see the marbling in the ears very much. Oh well. Hmm. Oh man. That's actually a hard question because there are so many that I genuinely enjoy. It's gonna sound weird. I mean, I love my growlers, of course, my little angry bunny donkey babies. But part of me is always gonna love leafies because they were the very first. And now that we have green thumb as an option, I would say a green thumb leafy or I guess really any green thumb worm, but especially leafies, because since the head is so relatively simple and uncluttered, it leaves a lot of space for doing something really fun with the plants. And since leafies are supposed to be kind of plant-based anyway, it makes sense. And it allows a lot of freedom to just kind of, you know, go hog wild with pretty plants, pretty flowers. That's actually why I'm looking forward to the Bird of Paradise, because I think that's going to be really neat. And then Kiko's Sakura Flower one, I think is going to be really pretty. I mean, it would be similar to an alpha, but whereas the alphas just got kind of lots of little vines and leaves, you know, and they're kind of consistently the same leaf, this could be everything. So like, for example, for Kiko's, it's going to be a leafy. And then it's going to have these little kind of branches and all these little itty bitty sakura flowers blooming all over it. So tropical leafy is mostly like the singular flower in the center, which is why things like Plumeria or poinsettia or, you know, even the Bird of Paradise work, because it's one big showy bloom. But Green Thumb is I can kind of crawl all over the head. Hmm. Oh, so what time is it by you, Leosha? All right, so at least kind of sort of semi-reasonable. Not 2 in the morning. Honestly, I kind of dig the earlier streams too, because I'm a night owl, but especially on days that I've got to get up and get the kid ready for school, you know, take care of the pets and everything. Staying up really late the night before leaves me kind of dragging in the morning. Oh wait, multicolor. Oh, excuse me. Hmm. Oh man. Oh. Oh, there. Where'd my tweezers go? Derp derp. Need my liquid glass clay. Our gray factor marble draft. Oh, excuse me. Now we move on to teal. Any silver clay in here? Yes, I do. Good. There we go. Want a little more silver in that. Otherwise, it just feels very monochrome. Ooh. No, I do not want to restart my device. Thank you. Kind of in the middle of something here, Windows. That game of, are you marbling in my clay or are you a hare? You were a hare. Go away. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Sorry. Trying to look up a reference image and that was not my reference image. Let's try that again. Sakura flowers. Oh. That's why. There we go. You'd think I would know them by heart after just doing a giant puppet, but... Ooh. I feel you. See, and this is why it's important to keep an eye on your clay. So this, I don't know if it's going to show up on stream. I have this little air bubble, air pocket. That's not good. So it up larger than it needs to be. Fit a plug of clay inside. Fit flush. There we go. Say I'm like, Feel you lurking there. And I mean, sometimes I've had bubbles in the clay that I did not catch in the past and they've been fine. Sometimes that little bubble heats up in the oven and you end up with a crack, and that's no fun. So ideally we try and catch those ahead of time. Ceramic clay is so much easier when it comes to pet hair. It's like, eh. Cat hair got caught in your clay? No big deal. Kiln fires at 2200 degrees. There will be no cat fur in your clay by the time it is fired. Hey, how you doing? Uh-oh, X-ray. Did you break a thing? I will keep fingers crossed and think good positive healing thoughts for you, hon. I'm glad you were able to make it for a little bit, though. Got your baby started. They look way more like electric teal on my camera. They're actually about half a shade darker, but it's a pretty color. Oof, yeah. Yeah, it has been a very icy winter. I actually nearly did a unintentional skating routine last night. Partner was out in the garage and I went to go check on them. And unbeknownst to me, one of our rain gutters was filled with ice, and so it has overshot the gutter and is making a very picturesque frozen waterfall down the side of the house and completely covering the walkway to the garage because we've had some sunnier, slightly warmer days. So I was just checking on them, so I had my slippers on, and I walk out and I'm like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Very quick, oh crap. And it's funny because I got in the garage and they were like, hey, careful out there, it's icy. And I was like, yeah. I discovered that all on my lonesome. I hope there is no fracture and I hope that you heal speedily. Actually, I probably should go to the doctor at some point in the near future. I didn't slip on ice, but I had those lovely fuzzy slipper socks on that I got for Christmas a few years ago, wool, and they were so nice and toasty warm when we were having those really cold nights a couple weeks ago. And I was coming down a set of stairs, which we don't have the little carpeted anti-slip treads on. Kept meaning to put a set on those and hadn't gotten around to it. And my foot hit the edge of the hardwood steps and went whoop, and I kind of unintentionally did a bobsled down the steps, nailed my lower back and my elbow, and I was sore and bruised for a couple days. But then, was okay, didn't think much of it. I mean, I could move my arm, no big deal. And then I quickly came to realize that when I lean on this elbow, not lightly, but like right, where the hell is it? There's a spot, there it is. Like right there on my elbow. If I lean any pressure on it, I get this very, very localized, very sharp stabbing pain. Nowhere else on the elbow. And I can bend, I can move, I can twist, I can flex. Nothing else hurts. It's just when I lean or put pressure on that one spot. But it's been a couple weeks now. And I was in the bedroom last night, reading something on my phone. Kid came in, asked me something, and I kind of leaned over on my left side to go check or to look at their phone. And sudden stabbing pain in that same spot on my elbow. And it's like, And the kid was like, "Are you okay?" It's like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just my elbow. That still hurts? Yeah, only when I lean on it. Mom, you should probably go see the freaking doctor. Yeah, probably should. But like, I don't even know if there's a fracture or if I bruised the bone, what are they gonna do? They're gonna say, hey, don't lean on your elbow. It's not like they can immobilize that whole arm. I can't be without my arm for weeks or months. And it doesn't bother me at any other time unless I am specifically leaning in that one spot. So it's like, So it's good that you're getting an x-ray. Make better decisions than the artist. Sad part is I have health insurance. It's like, hey, dummy, that's what you have health insurance for. Maybe go see the doctor. Honestly, now that the giant fox is done and I am pretty much caught up on everything, I probably will. It was just a matter of like, I don't want to stop and take the time. Which is pretty much the worst possible reason to not go to a doctor. Oh, it's not convenient. Well, it's going to be a lot more inconvenient if you permanently screwed up a body part. I know this, I am aware of this. My internal mom voice says, hey, dummy, go to the doctor. And yet, it's all right, it's fine. I'm sure it's nothing. The funny part is I find that my willingness to schlep off to a doctor tends to be inversely proportional to, can I still art? If it were my hand that every time I flexed I had stabbing pain, I'd be like, oh my god, doctor! Or if my eyes were suddenly getting like super blurry and was having trouble with my vision, I'd be like, oh my god, optometrist, now! Elbow is just like, strictly speaking, it doesn't bother me unless I lean on it. I don't need to lean on my arm to do art. Therefore, making bad decisions. Don't be like me, kids. Look after your body parts, take care of your health. And it's kind of ironic because when friends get sick or injured, I'm the first one to be like, yo, go to the doctor, get that checked out. I had a friend who slipped and fell in some ice and they were having trouble with their hand. And I went, oh my gosh, go to the doctor, get that checked out. It's your hand. You're a sculptor. You need that. For the record, the friend did not, in fact, go to the doctor. It's not just me. Unwillingness or dragging feet to go to the doctor seems to be endemic with artsy types. It's like, do I really need to? No. No, definitely not. And I find that artist types, creative types in particular, were almost pathologically bad at self-care, especially from a physical standpoint, whether it's like a cold or an injury, unless it is directly interfering with the thing we want to do, with the art we want to do. If it becomes a problem, then we're like, all right, I gotta go to the frickin' doctor. Until then, a lot of us tend to just kind of limp along and be like, it's fine, it's fine. 'Tis merely a flesh wound. I mean, that's like when I dropped the cat food can on my foot and I was like, oh my god, my foot's swollen and hurts and yada yada yada. And now my doctor says, oh yeah, it looks like a bunion. I was like, huh, what causes that? Oh, it could be ill-fitting shoes or blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm at home wearing slippers or socks most of my day, and you know, I have shoes that are large enough that they shouldn't be compressing. And I was like, could dropping a cat food can on that exact spot on the foot have caused that? Well, I mean, I suppose, but cat food cans aren't very big. And I was like, no, it was one of the big 12.5 ounce. Oh, it's like, yeah, metal can that is almost a pound landing on my foot. Twice. Twice in the same spot. She was like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe. That is a distinct possibility. Here is a referral for a podiatrist. I really should make that appointment at some point. I got the referral like a month ago. But my foot stopped hurting. It stopped bothering me as much. So it was like, oh, it's not actively hurting now. It must have gotten better. Artist logic. I don't sculpt with my feet, so it's probably fine. Hey, I'm not doing anything truly crazy. I'm not like falling out of hot air balloons like Friends, so. Not like when they're high up in the air, when they're coming down and. It doesn't really make it sound better, does it? No. I have a friend who likes to tell funny stories about stuff that she has done in her life and funny little anecdotes, and all of us are like, oh my god! How are you alive? This is the friend that I am convinced has a very intoxicated guardian angel that drinks because of PTSD. All right. Nice! That's always fun. Okay. Oh, Mick, how do you feel about colored eyes, or do you prefer the black ones? Early weekends are fun. Oh, dude, do you get Monday off too? That would be like super awesome 3.5-day weekend? The kid is ecstatic that they have Monday off. Nice! 3.5-day weekend. Whoop whoop. Does the waifu have Monday off too? Y'all to go catch a movie or something. Do something fun. Ah, poops. I'm sorry. We're gonna dance, and then we're gonna run. Oh, Lord. Well, good luck. Have fun at the 5K. And have a lovely Valentine's Day. Oh, wait a minute. Ha ha ha. Caught myself right before I oopsed. Am I wrong? No, I think the... Okay. It's supposed to both be 6mm, but this one's tinier, and I don't know why. Oh, yes! Okay, I get shrinkflation. Give me like 1 or 2 less beads on a string, but don't physically make the 6mm eyes less than 6mm. Okay. Now we play the game of can we find two eyes that are actually the same freaking color and size? That's the one downside to using like gemstone and shell beads rather than glass, is that it's a wee bit challenging to find two that are, there we go, legitimately the same size. God, talk about shrinkflation. We have a BJ's membership and got it while they were having their like $20, $25 member special. And it's like, what the hell, you know. Cold cuts and meat and stuff is less expensive there, and we can get it in bulk. And we make our dog's food instead of buying the canned stuff. So when we buy beef or chicken, it's in large amounts. And I want to say this past week, partner had gone to BJ's and got a big package of chicken breasts. And supposed to be 5.5 pounds. And I wouldn't have thought anything of it if I hadn't just seen something on Walmart and like their meat packages, that their ham that is prepackaged by another company is marked one weight. But then when you put it on a scale, it's considerably less. And I was like, I wonder, wouldn't that be crazy? Do you know I put the fucking package on our home scale that goes pounds and ounces? It's a food scale. The 5.5 pound package, and I'm kicking myself in the butt because I didn't put it on the scale until I cut the plastic. And I had taken one of the breasts out, and I'm like, oh, shoot. So I put it back in. I folded the plastic back over. I put it on the food scale. And the 5.48 ounce package of chicken breasts was 4.6. I was absolutely gobsmacked and ripshit pissed. And I went to, yeah. And when you take into account how many packages they must sell in a day, in a week, in a month, we called them up and we told them. And we're like, oh, that's pre-packed at like the warehouse and blah blah blah, and we'll send that up the line. And you know, if you want to bring it in, it's like, it's already open, unfortunately, because we thought about weighing it after we'd cut it open. So it's fine, just thought you guys should be aware. So I told my partner, I'm like, next time we buy from there, gonna weigh it before I open it. If it happens again, it's gonna be a, oh, okay, cool. We need to, I don't know, I don't even know what. Because it's their factory that's packing it. And they don't have scales anywhere in the store, aside from like maybe deli counter, I guess. Though it could be like a Stu Leonard situation. I don't necessarily know that I would trust their scales either. So who knows? But it did make me more cognizant of the, it may not just be shrinkflation. It may be a whole lot more, aside from skyrocketing gross prices that are making people's grocery bills just go through the roof and making it so that a dollar doesn't stretch as far. It's like, well, yeah, if you think you're getting almost, 5.5 pounds chicken, and you're getting a little over 4.5. I mean, we're feeding a couple of dogs, and ourselves, but you start feeding more than a family of 3, that starts adding up and getting expensive real quick. So, kind of messed up. Oh no. There we go. Whew. Thought I had suddenly gotten dirt in the clay. It was not, in fact, dirt. It was a pet hair. Who are we cloning today? If I had to guess, a smart guess would be probably Gale, because the girls were curled up in the window or on the bed when I was pulling out my balls of clay and marbling and rolling and mixing everything. And Mishka was asleep in his window seat. But Gale was trying to jump on the kitchen table and stuck his head in my clay bin before I chased him out. So, idiot orange boy clone, perhaps? Which, don't get me wrong, I love him. The world does not need more of it. My friend likes to say he used his turn with the orange brain cell to realize that, like, ooh, good family, they'll love me and keep me warm and safe, when he came up onto our porch. And my response is, okay, yeah, maybe, but he hasn't had the brain cells. Like, he used his one turn with the brain cell to be like, ooh, this is a good safe home. I'm gonna go here and look pathetic and cry. And now he used his one shot with the brain cell and he'll never get it again. We, gosh, it was years back at this point. But we were doing a thing, and I haven't in a bit because, money. But we were doing a thing where all of our pets, we would pick either a literature or a movie or TV show character that they resembled to us personality-wise. And, I wanted so badly to be responsible and say, he's really sweet. We absolutely don't need another animal. Really, really, truly, we don't need another animal. And then just looked at me and went, he's an orange. He came to you. Like, he was crying, but he walked up to and came to you on the night of the winter solstice. Tried to crawl in your lap. I think the universe is trying to tell you something. And I was like, God damn it. let's see, because I'm trying not to be like, oh, and get super sentimental about it because, from a practical standpoint, hey, it's another animal, it's another expense. Thank goodness people wanted teacup worms because I was able to pay off that not insubstantial chunk on my credit card for all of his vet, wellness stuff and his shots and his snipping of the trouble puffs. Um, but like, it's another cat. It's more food, and good God, does he eat like a freaking horse. It's changing out the cat litter more often because now there's 4 kitties using the box. It's just a lot of little things, and so I actually, when we found him, and once he'd had his first round of tests and like, oh, okay, no feline AIDS, no feline leukemia, no heartworm, no excuse me, parasites, nothing. Like, okay, good. We come to find out, obviously, he had ear mites, but the big dangers, the hey, you don't probably want to keep this cat when you have other pets, were all negative. So I actually contacted our friend who adopted a sibling pair a couple of years back that he absolutely adores, and he's such a sweetheart. He's the biggest mush of a cat dad. He has an entire room in his home that is just the cat room, and there's so many toys and cat trees, and like they are spoiled rotten. And I was like, I texted him, hey, I got a question for you. How do you think your fur babies would like a sibling? And I showed him pictures and video, and he was like, he's really, really cute. And obviously he's a mush and a love bug, but I am finally to the point where they're trusting me because they were ferals when he got them. He went through a rescue, and they were like, don't touch me, don't pet me. But he's like, I love him, but I can't. I absolutely can't. And it was like, oh, all right, well, let me call around the shelters. Like, overfull. No availability, no space. Has anyone, called in about it? Nope. And it was just one of those, like, your partner sitting there looking at me with this smug grin on his face. I was like, okay, I guess he's staying. And then we found out he had really bad ear mites, and it was like, motherfucker. Because it was right before he was supposed to join the general population of the kitties. I was like, well, okay, he's got ear mites. What do we do? Oh, you give him Revolution. Okay, that's easy enough. And you keep him in isolation for 10 to 14 days. So he had another 2 weeks where he was stuck in the bathroom, poor boy. I think that's why he's quite as spazzy as he is now. He's so happy to be out of the bathroom and able to play with his siblings, even if the siblings aren't 100% sure of him yet. And he's sweet. He's very loving. He still comes to me when I'm in the bathroom and is like, oh, hi, Mom, hops on my lap, and it's like, you're a toilet snuggler, you weirdo. He likes a captive audience. But when we were talking to a friend about, oh, yeah, he's really cute, he seems very sweet, they were like, so what's his portrait going to be? And I was like, oh, God, I need to play catch up because we've got like a dog and a cat, 2 cats actually, Cassie, since the last time we got a portrait. So we've got some catch up to do before it's his turn. So we got time. I don't know. What do you think his personality's like? I was like, I don't know. He's funny because he's got this chin that sticks out a little bit, like his bottom jaw, his chin juts out, so he looks like he's making pouty face all the time. And he's an absolute himbo. Total himbo. He loves everybody. He seems obsessed with the kiddo's cat Ivy, who we have said is Cassie's wife. They're lesbians together. And Ivy's the biggest cat in the house. She's like 13, 14 pounds. She's a thick lady. And we love her. Go queen. But he's like half her size. And he is obsessed with the thick lesbian. And it's like, oh, buddy, you are so barking up the wrong tree. But he keeps trying to make friends and groom her and snuggle with her. And yeah, cat distribution system definitely was like, yeah, you don't need another one, but surprise. But when my friend was asking, I said, oh, I'm not really thinking about that right now because, still have to get other pet portraits. And when I started describing his personality, she went, oh, like Kronk. And I went, Emperor's New Groove, Kronk? Yeah, big, dumb, lovable himbo. And has like a smaller woman that, yells at him and beats the crap out of him. I was like, are you saying that Cassie is Yzma? I mean, I don't think you're entirely wrong, because Cassie's the runt of the group. She's this tiny little thing. Aside from Mishka, she's the oldest cat. She's going to be 7 this June. And she's always yelling at him and swatting at him when he messes with her wife. So it was like, oh shit, he is Kronk. That's hilarious. So now I told the kid I need to, like, make a little Halloween Kronk costume for him, because he's so freaking tolerant. Like, ridiculous levels of, pick him up and hold him like a sack of potatoes, and he's just drooping there like, okay, this is fine. Everything is fine. Just unperturbable. So I may need to make that costume and take pictures this Halloween of my idiot cat as Kronk. Though that means I'm going to need to make a little headdress for Cassie, a Yzma headdress. And have the two of them sitting next to each other, preferably without beating the crap out of him. That'll be the trick. Is that my voice? Hey Mick, I've got a question. Because the teal is really pretty, and with the silver phase it's going to be really pretty, and we're in winter, and that makes me think snowy. I don't know. I've done so many damn worms. I don't honestly remember. But how would you feel about frost on like the tips of the ears and maybe the snoot? I just think that would be really pretty with the silver and this particular color of teal. I think it would make a really neat kind of a winter. Yeah, all right, cool. I will do that. Well, here is your babu. Blech. I gave them a little mlem. Silly puppy. So I'll get them baked up. And then we'll get the markings on. Oh, all right. Let's see. Next I have a leafy base and then a bazillion tiny little flowers. What time is it? Oh, good. All right. I got time. I don't know if I'm going to get all the flowers done, but I can absolutely get the leafy done. God, I feel like I could do it leafy with blindfold on and using only my left hand. Don't quote me on that. I'm not trying. This is not a blind stream. So I marbled this. I was trying to get a lighter green, but then it had such pretty striations that I went, oh, I actually don't want to mix it the rest of the way, so. Well, to be fair, your growler cooked great, by the way, no cracks, which makes me very happy. It does make me think kind of malachite. Not only do the growlers have to have those tattered ears? And I was honestly, the hardest part of that was the little tentacle tongues, the little mushroom filament tongues. But then all the other tiny little mushrooms, anything that is lots of tiny plant details, i.e. this, the head base is going to be ridiculously fast. All of the plant details are going to take a while. So, like, that is why when I set up Green Thumb, I was like, nope, it's not genetic. There's no way to ensure passing it on. It's just, it is artist vibes. You know, because at the time I was like, I don't want to drive my sculptors crazy, and it's a lot of extra work, but it does look really pretty and it's a lot of fun. Because it's not genetic, you could breed a sakura flower and, I don't know, a bird of paradise, and if the artist felt like it and the vibes were good, it could be something entirely fucking different. It does not have to be that plant. So it allows for a lot of creativity and just playing around, which is nice. Okay, the kid's out of school today at 12:30, so I've got about half an hour. Let's see how much of this I can get done in that time. I was requested for a manicure. They're like, Mom, my nail polish is all chipped off. So my manicurist services were requested when they get out of class today because they want everything to be fresh for Pride Night. It's so cute, my little bitty goth. Not even goth, like my little emo scene kid. I think they were expecting that we would be against like the clothing and whatnot. And I just laughed and I was like, did we never tell you that Mom and Dad met up again after many years at a goth club? The kid, if you want to rebel, your version of rebelling is going to have to be like dressing all in pink and joining the cheerleading squad. Because I'm not going to care. You do you. And meanwhile, they went completely the opposite direction, which is cool. Whatever makes them happy. I mean, they grew up going to furry cons and Dragon Con and whatnot. And they grew up in the geek subculture. So I'd have frankly been more shocked if they had turned out to be like a super straight line preppy. And it was not for lack of trying from my mother. She bought that kid more pink clothing in the first 5 years of their life. I mean, when they were little, they didn't really care. But as soon as they got old enough to start like voicing what they wanted to wear, oh, she got so pissed. Because there'd be Christmases that she would buy just the frilliest, most girly looking stuff. And Christmases, birthdays, didn't matter. Kid would open the package and be like, oh, thank you, Grammy. Put it off to the side. Never got worn. Ended up getting, you know, sold or donated with the tag still on it. And it's like, I'm not going to force the kid to wear stuff they don't want. You tried to dress me in girly crap growing up and I hated it, so. Well, yeah, and that's my thing. Like, oh, they're choosing what clothes they want. They want to, you know, bleach sections of their hair and dye it bright colors. They want to wear black nail polish. All right, cool. You know, when they talked about wanting to get a second ear piercing, which ended up getting infected, they took them out. But I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take you. You know, pick out the earrings you want. You know, and when they decided to, we took them out and the infection cleared up, and you know, it was like, do you want to try putting them in again, or nah, I think I'm good. Okay. Could I maybe get them re-pierced at some time? I'm like, yeah, whenever you want. Just let me know. See, and that's fine. Like, the other thing is, pink doesn't necessarily mean girly. Like, it doesn't have to. Guys can wear pink. Non-binary folks can wear pink. I don't love the pink colors. I like cool tones myself. It's why you will rarely see me in red or orange or yellow clothing, just because I prefer the cooler colors. But while I don't mind pink, I hate the... How do I want to say it? I hate the enforcement of, oh, you are a girl and hence you must wear pink because pink is girly color. It's not. Colors don't have a gender. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I think it's awesome when people find colors or palettes or styles or things that they love and bring them joy. That's fabulous. It's like when the kid came to us and went, you know, I don't really like girly things. I like dinosaurs and Legos. And I was like, okay, I love Legos. What does that mean? You don't have to love things that, you know, people claim are gendered. You like what you like, and that's okay. So I feel like it's just been important to, I don't know, support them in what they like, what they want. My barometer is it harmful for you? Like, is it going to hurt you? No? All right, cool. I will take you to get your ears pierced. I will take you to get your second piercings. If it comes down to it, when they are of age and they want to get a tattoo, I will gently advise them to think it through if it's something trendy or something that, you know, I don't think they're going to want 20 years, 30 years down the road. You know, but there'll be that discussion of like, absolutely, you know, we can go get that tattoo. Hey, maybe I'll get some work done too. Let's find a good artist that is clean and follows best practices, that works in the style that you want, because that's important, because not all tattoo artists work in all styles. And like, hey, let's get temp tattoos in the design that you want. Let's put it where you want it. See how it feels, see if, you know, after a week you still want to live with it, or, you know, oh yeah, this, you know, hey, it comes out that, you know, this YouTube themed tattoo that I wanted, oh gosh, the creator is has been found to be a pedophile. You know, or something horrible. Oh shoot, well, good thing you know, didn't get that tattoo on you forever. I wonder about people that are currently wearing Harry Potter tattoos, because JK going and shit insane. You know, but it'll be a, you want it? Cool. Let's be smart about this, and let's think it through, and let's find something that has meaning for you personally, beyond just the fact that it's popular or trendy. And if after, you know, wearing a temporary version of it, you still want it, cool, let's find your artist. I will go with you, I will hold your hand. Because honestly, what it comes down to is it's their life, it's their body. As long as they are not actively harming themselves or someone else, I'm gonna be supportive. They're my kid, I love them. Meep. I don't know why my screen is flipped. Something in the settings, but you see? Meep, 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 meep. I think they're very cute. And I think the marbling looks nice. I would... Oh, excuse me. Normally hesitate when it's going to already have detailing on it. But because the pink is going to be such a contrast to the green, I think we'll be fine. I hear cackling in their schoolroom. It's oh, that's why. It's stand up right now, which is like the online school version of homeroom. And a lot of times they'll do games or team exercises or challenges, and a lot of times it's something silly. For the most part, it's student led. It's what the students want to do. So, woo! Hats off to you. That is an oucher. My arm wasn't bad until she got like right here and right here where the skin, let's go down, where the skin is thinner and softer. That was a little bit nail bitey. But the rest of it was just, yeah, okay, that's fine. I have heard spine and ribs are really rough places to get it. Oh, that'd be neat looking. I've seen some moon phase tattoos too, and they're really pretty. I want to go back and get this like fully colored as opposed to just little hints of color here and there. And I almost wonder about like, oh god, that would suck, but maybe having the moon phase when the kid was born kind of peeking out from behind the branches somewhere. Plus I want to have my Peaches Memorial one. That I've got to find the right artist though, and an artist who works in the style I want for that and is actually somewhere I can travel to. I've seen some really beautiful work coming out of the UK, but it's one of those, yeah, no, not gonna happen. Because that is an expensive ass trip, and imagine if you needed touch-ups. Ooh. Yeah, but Florida is kind of like Texas for me right now. It's a no-fly zone. It's like, nope. And I mean, no offense and all of the love to our Floridian and Texan friends, but I ain't going down there, and I am certainly not spending money down there until they get some of the stupid out of office. The tattoos are one of those things where it's like, at least for me, I built it up in my mind so much that it was going to be so painful. And then I got my first one and went, oh, all right, well, like, it didn't tickle, but it's certainly not as big as I was making it in my mind. And that was just sort of the end of it. Now it's like, all right. Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's funny because I've read and seen so many videos about, you know, people asking tattoo artists like, "Oh, who sits better for tattoos, you know, men or women?" And it's like, well, you know, AFAB or AMAB, because someone's birth gender does not necessarily match what they identify as, but generally speaking, the response seems to be, oh, female-born uterus owners tend to sit better for tattoos. And it's like, well, yeah, because for most of us from puberty on, once a month, we have the, oh, goody, rusty knives in my stomach feeling, and are expected to just sort of, oh, well, it's part of the miracle of being a woman. You, man. This sucks. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, the guys are just kind of gritting their teeth and going, oh, yeah, it's fine. I'm okay. I'll be able to do it. And the women are just like, da 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 da. I'm reading a book. I'm dozing off. I think, oh, this is going to sound sexist. I think that the expectation is that, oh, men have to be tough. Men can't cry. They can't show weakness. They can't, you know, da 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 da. Women are the fairer sex, the weaker sex. But I think there's a lot of just unspoken misogyny in our world that, okay, well, women are fair and weak and, you know, delicate. But if you're in pain for something as, you know, typical or unimportant as a menstrual cycle or childbirth, you are meant to just deal with it with, you know, with grace and without complaint and quietly and, you know, don't disturb anyone else. And so when people go, oh, men are tougher than women, it's like, uh-huh. I don't think either sex is better, but I think when it comes to bearing physical pain, women are absolutely not given, or AFABs are not given the credit or the regard or the consideration of, yeah, what are we expected to just shrug off and deal with because, oh, well, that's normal. It's like, hey, guys. I mean, you see it all the time in those TikTok or YouTube videos of guys wearing the period cramp simulator. Oh, interesting. Interesting. See, like, I don't think any gender has it easier or harder necessarily because there's a lot of crap that men have to deal with and are expected to deal with without making a big deal about it. But there is absolutely misogyny and expectations that women should just not make as big a deal about certain things. When in reality, I mean, you look at women's medical care versus men's, you know, there's a lot of stuff that the medical profession doesn't know about women because we just weren't studied for a very long time. It's like, oh, you know, appendicitis, strokes, heart attacks. If it's like this for men, it must be like this for women. And it's interesting that we're all finally starting to realize that, hey, that's not actually true. I do think there's a lot of BS that men have to deal with, though. The whole like, oh, be a strong provider and be stoic and, you know, never show your pain and don't be girly. That's being a sissy or that's being gay. Like, okay. Well, a perfect example of this is my partner is, you know, a a cis male. And so when he first started going to the doctor for migraines, got offered multiple different options pretty much immediately. And when I, through lots of trial and error with different medications that were weaker, discovered that, hey, I can try Nurtec because, all right, I've tried all the other stuff. None of it worked. I had to remain in pain for a long time. Finally get prescribed Nurtec. It was an ordeal. Now it's finally got my migraines under control, and it's like night and day. It's like, yeah, I get to live my life again. When he started having an issue with his medication and it wasn't being as effective, he mentioned it to his neurologist, and his neurologist, lo and behold, prescribed Nurtec much quicker and easier than I had been given. So it's just one of those, I don't have to tell you, you work in the medical field. I'm sure you see it on a daily basis. I honestly think the gender role thing is BS. It's like if a dad wants to stay home with the kids and the mom wants to go to work, cool, whatever works for them. Man wants to get into being a professional ballet dancer, or a woman wants to get into construction. Cool. Awesome. Whatever makes you happy, live your life. Live your truth. Ugh. Is it better? Like, is it appreciably better for you that you have noticed? I'm absolutely not going to get to the flowers on this. I will get to the branches, but I'm certainly not going to get to the flowers. I'm looking at it and it's like 12:20 now. That's all right. Well, that's good. I'm glad you were able to find a area of the medical profession that is less ick, I guess is the best way to put it. Politest way to put it. A better fit for you professionally. There we go. Yeah. Which is some BS, because healthcare workers work insane hours and deal with a lot of crap and should get paid better. Not that IT is not important, but I feel like the healthcare profession is kind of like our military. They don't get paid as well for the risk does not match reward. Workload does not match reward. Let's put it that way. I was just talking to someone, actually, a commissioner, who has their health care through the military because their spouse is a service member. And they were having some fairly serious stomach issues. And the soonest they could see a specialist is the 18th. It's like, really? That's bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's messed up, man. And people wonder why we're in a healthcare crisis. It's like, I don't know. maybe possibly pay the people that are saving people's lives a little bit better. But that's just a theory. I heard so much of that from so many people, especially during the height of COVID. We've got a friend who is the parent of one of the kiddos' friends, and they were in healthcare. They were an RN. They now have so many health issues connected to long COVID, and they were like, it was rewarding work until it wasn't. And the expectation versus, oof. Yeah, and that's insane. That's insane. Nobody can work all the time and never have time to decompress or heal. Not even just from the physical stresses, but from the mental and emotional ones. I mean, there's hospital workers that worked during the absolute height of COVID that completely have PTSD and I hope are seeing therapists and getting the mental health help that they need, because holy crap. Yep. So now imagine what it's like at smaller, especially more rural, less well-funded hospitals or medical centers. I shudder to think. Mm-hmm. I watch a YouTuber who's an optometrist, Dr. Glockenflomen, and just some of his bits about rural medicine and like, oh yeah, Texco Mike has the MR machine and sorry, MRI machine. And he built it from spare parts. And it would be funny if it weren't probably like if there weren't at least a little bit of truth in it, You get rural medicine and clinics or hospitals that are not as well funded, and they're doing everything they can to help people on a shoestring budget with, skeleton staff. And I get angry because it's like, how are these people not paid better? That's seriously messed up. I think that's honestly why a lot of folks have why we've seen a expansion into the freelance or gig economy, because people are tired of killing themselves at a job working for peanuts and not being appreciated. Hey kid, how'd class go? Cool. I'm almost done. I'll be up in a minute. I'll get to poke them and figure out what all the giggling was about. All right. So we have our leafy with the branches, and I'll just have lots of sakura flowers and maybe some loose petals coming down. Oh gosh, absolutely. My plan is glamour shots for everybody before anyone gets boxed up. Oh, hello! Where is Hope? I didn't even see you sneak in here. Wilder is sitting next to me. It's like, oh, hi, Mom. I figured you could use some more pet hair in your clay. I love our fur babies, I do. They make sculpting in polymer clay a little bit challenging, but that's alright. Alright, friends. Well, 2 worms done, 1 worm mostly done. Now it's just flowers. Just flowers. But I think that's it for today. We're gonna see if I can... Yay! I did the heart the right way. All the love. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. For those of you that have a long weekend, enjoy it. For those of you that don't, still enjoy your weekend. Take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and I will see you guys next week. Bye for now.